What's up, everybody? Dank is back at it again, right? I've gotten a bazillion comments, DMs, etc. Dankus, how tank design? Dankus, how tank design? You know, I'm here to answer that. And what you gotta answer first is, what are you fighting? What are your tanks going to be fighting? Are they going to be fighting infantry? Then go for something that has soft attack. Because if you did not know, in Hearts of Iron 4, if you click here, for example, an infantry division has 0% hardness, for example, in this one, right? And soft attack taken 100%, hard attack taken 0%, as you can see there, right? Which means this does not get affected at all by hard attack. That's why if you're fighting mostly infantry, you want to go for something that has more soft attack. Obviously, you can go for some kind of a balanced mixture if you're fighting both tanks and infantry to be a bit more, you know what I mean. I know you do. You're a smart boy. What we're gonna do now is go into the research. What do you need to do to get these tanks? Starting off, you really don't have a jack ton of research to do. Looking at the research here, you get some small cannon, improved small cannon, close support gun, whatever. Ignore all of this and look at this. Here, for example, is the gun I usually go for. It's the improved medium cannon. If you research this day one as Germany, you'll have the improved medium cannon, the 41 tech, like around mid 39. If you're on shit hardcore, it's really good. It's a lot of soft attack, and a lot of people tend to go for more softness in their builds, right? So going for more hard attack on your tanks, which is basically your entire army, is kind of stupid when most of what you're fighting is softness, right? For example, say Russia goes motorized tanks, they're gonna have majority softness on their tanks, probably more like 60% hardness or something. Doesn't matter, you'll still want to be fighting all their infantry, etc., and you won't be breaking that with shit soft attack. So if you want to make some movements, usually going for soft attack is the better idea. You get the first soft attack cannon in 39 tech, but you probably get this around 38, early 38 is around when you get this. You really want the soft attack one though. The hard attack one, 10 soft attack, 26 hard attack. I'll go into some designs later. For now though, we'll continue going. You might be wondering, after you have researched your gun, this one, what do you want to do? For starters, you want to have radios. The tank radios gives you defense and breakthrough. These are pretty good stats, and once you get through to the next levels of radio, like for example this one, 65% defense and 45% breakthrough, you get to this one, it helps you a lot with your stats. I'll be researching this all later to show you. Now, for your chassis, what do you want to go for? You kind of can just stay with the 1934 chassis all game. There's no reason not to.
And what is that, bro?
Like, it's 3.6 production cost. You go to the 3.16. It's not expensive, but it's unnecessary in a way, right? Because what you want is glass cannons, as we like to call it. 34 medium, 2 defense. The next one, 2 defense. 12 breakthrough, 12 breakthrough. 85% hardness, 85% hardness. 5.1 kilometers an hour, 5.1 kilometers an hour. 45 armor though compared to the 35 will not matter. Even support AT will pierce this in the actual template. So you don't really want to go for the second chassis. It's just more expensive, you know? It's not really that good of a research to go for. Also, you can devote that into air, which matters more in this DLC. The third chassis, not that much better either. The only thing you gain really is reliability, I guess, which you kinda don't need either. I'll show the tank design soon and explain why. Also, some things to keep in mind is, should you go for the engine techs? Should you go for the armor techs? There are still builds where people go for heavy tanks and then you really want to go unpierceable, kinda. There's no reason to go for the heavy tank to get more stats in a way, right? Because glass cannon mediums, having a lot of those are just way better. As of right now, that is. Now, a thing that's new with this DLC is this bad boy, the flamethrower. Yes, it unlocks light flame tank company, medium flame tank company, flame tank company. Which one do you want to go for? I'll get into that in a second. Alright, now that you got your bad boy tanks researched, you don't really want to go for the second chassis, but I've researched it just to show, right? Create a variant, you click on this button, create variant. Then in here, you click on main armament, medium armament, and you want to go for the improved choose medium cannon, the one that has more soft attack, right? More soft attack, very good. Medium turret type, you want to go for the 3-man turret, right? And then after that, you want to put in a radio. Radio is great for breakthrough. I shouldn't have to explain why you do this, but yeah, it's awesome. You want to stay with gasoline engine most of the time. Depends on the mod also. Not too sure about vanilla, but most mods, staying with the gasoline engine pays off the most. Then you have riveted armor. Then you have a boogie suspension. So you probably want to stay with that one. You could also go for like a crazy suspension, but it costs more to make your tank. You can see the cost here. You want to go for more speed anyhow. We'll get into the other stuff you can put on the tank. So we'll save this for now. Now there are 3 add-on slots here. You have. So there are people who like to go for a more expensive tank where you go small cannon twice, which is the max amount of times you can go for it. If you try to go for the 3rd time, you won't work, right? This ups your stats by a lot. You can see additionally 10 soft attack, 6 hard attack, more breakthrough, business armor, which doesn't even matter. Then you have the special modules. Completely depends on what you want to do. Maybe a wet ammunition storage for some reliability, or you want to go for something else. I mean, there's a lot to do here. Let's just say we go for the wet ammunition storage here, and we pump up the engine. We want to go at, well, about 8 kilometers an hour if possible, so around there. The reliability is kind of trash. One thing you could do technically is put the diesel engine on it, bump it up again. No, you cannot get to 8 then. So you gotta go gasoline if you want to be 8 kilometers an hour. Sad moment, I know. You'll stay at this reliability then. But this is even with a wet ammunition storage. And this is kind of due to these taking away 10 reliability from your tank that you have to put in this. So we'll save this as an alternative. We'll call it Panzer V1. Now, speed is good, stats are good. Now I'll show you a different type. So you do the same thing, improve medium cannon, 3-man turret, everything here stays the same. Then what you want to go for instead this time is additional machine guns. Additional machine guns cost essentially nothing. They are literally dirt cheap, and you can get like 3 of these in, and then adding in the radio, and then you bump the speed up to 8 kilometers an hour. What you'll end up having is a tank that is 3 IC cheaper, about exactly 3 IC cheaper. Now, if you compare them though, this is the expensive tank, 42 soft attack, 26 hard attack. This is the cheap tank, 38 soft attack, 20 hard attack. A bit less stats, but also costs 3 less IC. And it also has higher reliability. This is more of the economy tank to go for, right? The other one also has more breakthrough, so technically in the long run, you could do better with this one, because it has 8 more breakthrough. This is kind of if you just want to max out your stats, right? That's what you want to do with this one. But I now want to show why the second medium tank chassis isn't worth really going for. If we go here, medium cannon, improve medium cannon, go 3-man turrets, we go for the radio, we put in, we'll make one with small cannons again. And then a 1 ammunition storage. Then we want to pump it up to 8 kilometers an hour. And here we go. You just made a 15 IC tank instead of a 14 IC tank. You could argue you don't even need the wet ammunition storage in this one. You could instead go for, let's just you put that in instead, and you end up at about the same reliability then. Also same IC almost, but 44 soft attack, 26 hard, 42 soft attack, 26 hard. You see the difference really isn't that much. It really isn't that much. It's just a more expensive chassis, really. The only thing that is good is that you can ignore adding a wet ammunition storage, or you just do that and you have a bit less stats, but you don't have to spend a lot of research time on it, and efficiency drop of your production line, right? We'll now make the same, like we'll make a medium 2, but only going for additional machine guns. We'll put in the radio, then we put in additional machine guns. Now 8 kilometers an hour. You can see a slight IC difference here, and the stat difference really doesn't matter, right? I mean, look at this, 38 soft attack, and now the other one is 38 soft attack. You see, why would you go for the next tank? Why would you? Please, someone answer me, why would you? Is it the little bit of reliability you gain? I mean, a little bit, it's a decent chunk, right? But still, Why? It's more expensive tanks. Stat-wise, it's not really justifiable, in my opinion, but you can do what you want. Now, let's put this all into a template. And I'll be doing a doctrine for this. Let's go mobile doctrine. For mobile, you want to go right side. Right side, it's kind of the main tank doctrine if you want to go tanks. Now, I've already given myself XP here. Kind of what the meta is right now in well, multiplayer is a tank that has really good stats, but also doesn't go for SPA, but still has decent air attack. 8 motorized, 2 motorized anti-air, the rest mediums. And for support companies, we'll get into that. You want to put in an engineer company, a maintenance, a logistics company, and we'll get into the rest. Already you can see almost 500 base soft attack. That's just amazing, right? It's just amazing.
That is delicious. Finally. Some good fucking food.
Now, we'll get into the flame tanks, etc. that are the new part of the DLC to show off why they're good, etc. in your tanks. I've taken the liberty to design some tanks, some inner-war flame tanks for you guys. Why inter-war flame tank? Well, because you want to have as cheap of a flame tank as possible, because you're not doing it for the actual tank, because the actual tank will have jack shit for stats. It will literally have jack shit for stats. So why do you want to have a flame tank? Let's check it out. So we have the light flame tank, we have the medium flame tank, and we have the heavy flame tank. Now you'll see the stats are pretty dog shit, although they can add some breakthrough depending if you want to do this. If you don't want to do this, they come back a bit cheaper, but still, I would say the 2.5 IC is worth the breakthrough you get there. But we'll see. Now, if we add, for example, the light tank flame tank into the template, you'll see, okay, 1.2 soft attack, 0.8 defense, 19 breakthrough. I mean, it adds these, like, basically no stats. Let's be honest here. It adds basically no stats into the actual combat stats. But what you fail to look at is when you hover over this. Now, the light flame tank gives 10% river attack, I mean, fort attack also over there. It gives amphibious attack, forest attack, hills attack, mountains attack, urban attack, blah, blah, blah. You can see everything, right? Now, what do those mean? Well, your entire division will perform better in those tiles. We'll see here. Urban, minus 24.7. We added a light flame tank, minus 14.7. It added 10% attack against city tiles, for example. We'll check out jungles, minus 30.4. Now you have minus 20.4, right? You see how this is helpful. Now, which one do you want to go for? Well, if we check out the medium flame tank, it adds an additional 10% attack against forts, 5% attack against forests, compared to the light tank. This is the light flame tank. It adds 5% additional attack to urban and 5 additional attack to jungle. And if we check out the heavy one, it adds an additional 15% attack to forts compared to the light one, minus 5% river attack, minus 5% amphibious attack, plus 5% forest attack, minus 5% mountain attack. Which one do you want to go for? Well, let me put it like this. Let's look at the IC of these. Sure, you get 5% more attack against forest tiles using the heavy one, but it's twice as expensive. You'll need double the amount of mils on it to be able to fit them out. So yeah, 15 heavy flame tank, 50 medium flame tank. You need basically double the IC in flame tanks to be able to get that out. Plus it is minus 5% stats against rivers, which if you're Germany fighting on Barb, might not be such a great idea. I know there's a lot of forest tiles in Russia, but doing the medium flame tank one is great. Like, it already helps so much, so you wouldn't need to. But let's put in the medium flame tank then. That's what I usually go for, and what I'd say you should go for. Now, you have this one last company. What do you want to put in there? Well, you want to put in a recon. Now, it's up to you what you want to put in, but there are some recons that are better in certain tiles, right? Like, for example, adding a light tank recon could add stats to your division, but again, it's a lot more IC. So what some people do is just motorized recon, some do light armored recon. Light armored recon gives the most recon. If you look at these, it gives the most recon, right? Not necessarily do need the most recon. You could go for motorized recon instead. A lot of people also choose to design like expensive light tanks just to fit in as much stats as possible. It's kind of the same people that go for this tank design here that is a bit more expensive, has a bit more stats, you know, than this one that is a bit cheaper, a bit less stats. Kind of the same people that do that. It is is good, yes, but it might be too expensive. And if you have like, say you have 60 tanks out of Germany for Barb, will you be able to equip 60 of them with how many light tanks? Well, 60 times 24 light tanks that you want to have all good light tanks. I don't know. Maybe you won't. But you gotta think of those things. For now though, we'll add in the motorized recon. If we train one of these out, well, it doesn't matter actually. What you want to think about is that these guys are not too expensive. 4,059 to 8,700 IC. I don't know how it's that big of a difference. Let's say there's 6,000 IC, right? These tanks are really gonna help you out. Like, these are amazing tanks. They're for your single player conquests or whatever you guys usually message me about, right? They'll be amazing for that. For light tanks, same kind of Django, you know? Just go for the best main gun for whatever you're attacking, right? If you're going for heavy tanks, you're fighting mostly infantry and soft targets, you want to have mostly soft attack in your tank. Light tanks, you won't be able to fight hard targets with. So just go max out your soft attack. Don't make them too expensive. That's the general jizz of this, right? That's the general jizz. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the comments. I'll try to answer them. If you comment 6 months after this video and you're like, Dankus, I tried this tank template, it no longer work, and there's been like a DLC released in between and shit, I'm probably not gonna see it, and if I do, I'm probably gonna ignore it, because you can't think for yourself. Because if the DLC changed a bunch of shit, then obviously it's not gonna work. But for now, this is what I gotta say. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey you liked the video, subscribe, and watch these videos.